2 matches left here for the QPL Stage 1 Finals, day number 1. We've still got 2 more days of Quake action coming at you. And let's take a quick look at the brackets, gentlemen. We have seen our first Quake champions fall, obviously from the Challengers matches, but also from the brackets as well. Saigib is out, having been defeated by Avik, and Nozva also, despite winning a game versus Avik, lost to Dewey, our first 2 players who are out. Gentlemen, welcome back to the desk, Jackie and ZSX. What's up?
Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be slapped straight back in on the A stream. Last game of the day, I get the pleasure of covering with big old Daniel over there, and I can't wait. It's been incredible up to this point. I think it's only going to get better the longer the day goes on.
Yeah, I completely agree. Every series has been balls to the wall, fun and action. I'm expecting more of that now.
Well, we're going to get another matchup here in the round of 16. It is RAISY taking on Effortless, the EU and America's regions clashing once again. Let's kick things off and start with RAISY. I mean, certainly been a performer who has been improving not only the Quake World Championships and you know, everything they did there, but also throughout the season as well. We'll take a look at RAISY's performance during the 13 weeks of the Stage 1 season 2. But Jackie, why don't you start us off? What do you think, RAISY?
I think RAISY is a genuine talent. Like, he's unreal at the game. In terms of being so driven, he puts the time in and it pays off. The crazy thing about this season, though, is he actually lost a couple of maps. And by a couple of maps, I mean quite a few. Especially when you look back at the season here, right? The 3-0 against Cypher, a couple of 1s here, dropped the entire way through, when normally RAISY was cleaning up. Like, this guy was consistently picking up 3-0s back through the first and second stage of the QPL back in the first season. He is unbelievable, but he's looking a little bit more mortal in recent form, which is actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, just echoing that. If we think back to almost this time last year, he was almost untouchable till he got to Rafa. Yeah. And then I think other people have just been catching up with him. Kind of not as dominating in the latter parts of last year, going through to Quake, and obviously did exceptional in that event. And maybe people expected that to be the catalyst to kick back on, but bit of a downward tick in terms of form, not in overall results. You know, he's got like an 80% win rate, but still losing quite a few significant maps, not as commanding victories as we once saw. So yeah, I mean, the gods there looking more than himself.
I mean, someone would argue that the EU region is so stacked in and of itself that it's kind of hard to even have, say, you know, a level of perfection that, say, we saw like Rafa and the Americas region. But I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. Also, there was no one was banning clutch from RAISY for quite a long time, and he was just, using and abusing that, which is totally fine, mind you. But that changed a little bit, right? As people started figuring it out, had good counter picks, etc. And his opponent, Effortless, let's talk a little bit about him. Dan, I'm going to talk to you. Cool. Effortless versus RAISY. What do you think?
I mean, to your point of the EU being so stacked, and potentially that's one of the reasons why, well, we've seen the Americas wiping the floor with the EU guys recently. And this has happened the last few lands, you know, NA stepping up to the plate, and that kind of puts Rafa in a bit more context. But to this game, I think this is probably the one of the easier ones to call for me, if we're just looking at the caliber of the players and the results recently. Whilst Effortless had a kind of a bit of an upsurge for some part of the stage, again, it wasn't the best of seasons for him, and that's why he found himself in that relegation spot. But he has kept himself in the QPL again, which is full credit to him. But he is going up against somebody who I would put in my probably top 3 to win this event kind of bracket.
Yeah. Jackie, what do you think?
I think you are absolutely right. Like, it is going to be really hard for Effortless to come in here and actually pick up this series, but you never know, Daniel. You never know. If he puts a bit of effort in tonight, if he does absolutely give it, then maybe there is a slim opportunity. He's a very confident player when he feels confident in himself. And the only issue is sometimes we don't see that. So I just want full mental fortitude Effortless, because he's a talent. It just feels like sometimes he can be a bit inconsistent.
Well, let's take a look at the picks and bans, and maybe that will help you two make some decisions and guide you into the one of our last matches here. We've got one more after this. It's going to be Wenger versus Sparty. But here you go. Corrupted Keep, Molten Falls, and Awoken all on the table.
Interesting. like the pick on corrupted keep from both players. I think they have their strengths. I would slightly favour the strong overall, but the way the way RAISY plays Galena is pretty unique, and so he's incredibly strong on that champion. Not a huge fan of Slash going against Sorlag. RAISY can definitely bring up a huge speed on that champion, and then the stack advantage is just massive. So I think that's going to be a bit of a tough encounter for Effortless. And then finishing up on Awoken with Keel against Doom. I think Keel can get a little bit outmaneuvered on that map, but again, having that padding of the stack to fall back on gives him a little bit of a lifeline, but not a massive fan on that champion up against Doom.
Yeah, this
Jackie,
this is looking a lot more like it's RAISY favored for me.
Yeah.
Like, especially the longer I'm looking at it now, like, I don't know. These feels like the sort of maps that he's comfortable on. He's always been able to get them in. He's picked them a lot throughout the regular season, so there's no stranger there. Just in the maps, champion-wise, again, I think you're right, Dan. There is a bit of an edge for RAISY. It just feels like he does have a big boon coming into this one.
Yeah. I think as an underdog, I would often try and get a map that I can slow down a little bit more, a bit of a wider berth map, something like a Blood Covenant, and Matt hasn't slept in the pool. These are all intense maps where if you kind of slip up, RAISY's going to be all over you, and so there's no hiding place.
Well, the winner will advance on in the upper bracket, and the loser will be dropped down to the lower bracket. And taking you through this journey will be your storytellers. Take it away, Jackie and CSX.
Thank you, Papa Wheat. We'll bring you back when the time is right, when we need you most. always listening from the shadows, like a good fatherly figure. Daniel, someone that is definitely not a father figure because you look like you're about 14. How are you feeling about this? You ready for this one?
Might not look like a father figure, Jackie, but plenty of people should look up to me. I'm feeling good. I like I don't think so, but I like your positivity around Effortless. I just don't agree with it. I think RAISY just should take this fairly comfortably. I would be relatively surprised if Effortless got a map, and that's no disrespect to him. It's just the way in which I think RAISY should be playing and the caliber he's at. So that's the way it goes. But it'd be interesting to see these guys go head to head, because for my mind, it should be the first time they're going up against each other. At least that I know of.
Not in recent memory, yeah. So most likely that statement could be true, Dan. Big if true.
So there you go. Be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, no, I think it will be pretty sick, man. Like, it's going to be a dope game to get into once this one gets underway, right? Like, coming out first map, Corrupted Keep as well. They're going to be swinging immediately at one another. I do like the idea, though, that we get some crazy plays from Effortless. You put him on Strog and Pika, you let him flex his muscles a little bit. RAISY has been looking more and more mortal. I think that is the one fact, right? Like, he's been bleeding recently. There's been a few instances where he's lost to players that in the past he would absolutely dismantle. There's been even times when some of the bracket play, right? Like on the build up towards QuakeCon, even a few instances at QuakeCon as well, where he looked a bit shakier. So, I don't know, getting back into bracket play now. It's the first time into this season as well. New format. It could be interesting.
Yeah. Kind of feels those. He's definitely more of a high pressure player, potentially, testing some things out during the earlier group stages. But when it gets to tournament, when it gets to crunch time, generally he pulls through for sure.
Absolutely, that was normally always the case. Like bracket play, RAISY was a whole different kettle of fish. Who is going to be reeled in though? Who's going to be taking the bait? We'll find out as we're getting into it. RAISY taking on Effortless, the battle of EU versus NA. We're starting off with the Christmas kid himself. Effortless, he's got a lovely little Santa hat on.
Oh, nice.
Let's see if he'll be bringing home the presents, Dan.
That's cute, isn't it?
It is actually quite cute. He's looking very beautiful.
Bit of a standoff here, as RAISY's quite happy just to bide his time. He's got a rocket to work with, so if Effortless wants to push, he's going to be eating quite a bit of damage, but instead Effortless is just delaying and delaying, trying to wait, do a bit of a lick of damage onto RAISY. He's going to try and push in here. He knows he's got the mid-range advantage, but RAISY's position is making it awfully hard and decides just to retreat.
We've had some crazy sick Corrupted Keep games today, so hopefully this will stay on with that trend. In terms of weaponry right now, of course, low on ammo for that LG. Cascades his way back over towards the heavy. We've got like a 2-second split on the items at this point. He's actually going to be making his way over to Mega as well. Nice bit of damage instigated as he does spot out RAISY, burns his way into him with the LG, just waits off the back of the timing. Mega's spawned in, Heavy's coming up soon as well. They're just going to hold for this, Dan.
Yeah, very cagey start for both these players. Effortless trying to get a bit of a read onto RAISY, but not being successful so far, and already he had the overstack up, so that just shows you how skilled RAISY is on this particular champion. He's always got it up. Hasn't even put his totems in particularly unique places either, so it's also something Effortless needs to consider.
It is intriguing as well, especially when you think about the fact that RAISY is normally quite innovative when it comes to the totem placements. He always spent a lot of time practicing with some of the more creative ones.
He's definitely stopped doing that as much. There was a time where it was purely based around there, but I think they potentially began to realize as he became more vulnerable that the totems have a lot of value to be used as much as hidden.
By the way, right, do you think it speaks more volumes, Dan, that Effortless doesn't actually have a Santa hat in his house, that he's had to just, like, CGI one in?
I mean, do you have a Santa hat?
Well, naturally, I don't hate Christmas, Dan. Are you saying you hate Christmas? That's not very Christmassy of you. It's December, Dan.
Let's go. Well, what can I say is we'd have a big engagement over to the Heavy. And it is going to be RAISY to pick up the first frag. Biding his time, managed to get now both major items. That's all he needed. Effortless flying in with those rockets. But he's also flying into a heavy machine gun. As RAISY, again, has another overstack.
3 minutes in. First blood has been spilt. Effortless really running low on Arsenal here, though. He's got to back off. He needs to get himself something to work with. Tribolt is pulled out, at least for now. He's still got a couple of rounds on that, but he's so low. He's got to be limping his way out of this counter. RAISY, if he can close the gap here, especially with the LG. Nope, quick switch to the shotty instead. Pumps him full of lead, he's dead.
Genuinely looks like RAISY's webcam is frozen. He is that cool and calm at this point in time. If it wasn't for his flickering lights, yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Obviously, you can tell the two apart by the fact that he doesn't have a fake Santa hat. Just in case, any newcomers to the QPL. just letting you know. Oh, mate. I mean, he is looking like Father Christmas at the minute, though, Dan. He's giving out all the presents, but the only issue is the presents are rockets, and they're going straight to the face of Effortless. So, not the best Christmas morning, but certainly one that will leave Galena smiling. Drops the little pocket totem as well. Look at the LG, man. That was crisp. Not missing a beat right now. All of those volts being pumped into Effortless's body. He'll need to go through Strogification again if this carries on.
Yeah, and Effortless is just getting outmaneuvered. Every single time he tries to make a move, RAISY's there to jump in his way and deal so much damage.
We tanked the totem as well, going out through the window. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, like, just absolutely rinsed him. You just saw his stack just drop entirely.
I really like the way that RAISY played this map so far. The first kind of 2 minutes, he just plays super slow, traded the items, and then slowly outworked Effortless to a point where he then got both major items after a frag. And ever since then, he hasn't looked back. He hasn't lost a single major item. He's got a good split on both of them. And you can see Effortless, he's desperately trying any way he can to get a sort of in, but it's not to be. And the map is slowly slipping away from him. Nice switch to the heavy shotgun, super shotgun.
SSG being pulled out. RAISY saying, you know me, as he's cleaning up into this game at the minute. 5 frags on the board, a kill a minute effectively with the Waker up to keep us going. Obviously, we did always joke about the fact this was RAISY's keep, right? Like, a lot of the time, he would absolutely manhandle anyone he had to go up against on this map. Effortless, the next in a long line of victims, it seems, unless he can start to turn this around. Gets RAISY trapped in, Dan. In a close choke point, a lot of splash damage done. Oh, and the rocket will actually land. That's huge.
That was a really nice play by Effortless. Trapped him in there after hitting a big rocket, and as you say, the splash rained down from above. But already, the overstack once again is back up, meaning RAISY's stack is monumental. And I don't think Effortless will realise that either. They're taking on this man fight. Nice peeker though, that will whittle him down, but you can see Effortless is living on the edge with virtually nothing to work with and tries to dive on the Mega. Shut down.
It's like that one Skepta song. Man's in shutdown.
Good song.
It is pretty good. Man's never been in marquee units and shut down. Trust me, daddy. 6 minutes into the game, Dan. 4 minutes left to go here. 6 frags on a board for RAISY. He is certainly starting to raise hell like smoking Joe Fraser the Hellraiser. He's raising hell with a flavour, and the flavour is rockets to the mouth of Effortless. Just keeps hitting him. Goes straight out through the window once again as well. Clocks him, good transition, lovely flick work, and he's not missing with the LG tonight.
No.
Oh, no! No! The gauntlet! Oh, you gory git! He's got in his face with a gauntlet!
Oh, no, he didn't.
You can't!
That Santa hat is vibrating faster now.
He's cut the hat in half, Dan! Oh, he's hit him with a bar humbug play. The hat's gone. Effortless is gone. Oh, my box is gone. I'm crying a little bit. 7 minutes in. RAISY, he's giving it. He's putting in the work.
Oh, best addition to the QPL ever was these cameras. I'm going to just at 04 and thank him for this.
Oh, mate. Crikey. Well, Corrupted Keep. Looking like it is going to be RAISY's turf as per usual. This man owns the land. He's a landlord, if you will. And at the minute, he's moved, though. He doesn't want to live in the keep anymore. He wants to live in Effortless's head rent-free, and that's what he did with the gauntlet. That is a beautiful rocket, at least, though. Doing a nice bit of damage back. The issue is, timing-wise, it's just far too tall of an order for Effortless to get himself back in the game here. Yeah,
but to his credit, once again, it's been, apart from the scoreline, which is obviously the one thing that counts, quite an even map in terms of item distribution to a certain degree and damage, but I think what you could say is that it was controlled by RAISY. He was allowing Effortless to be quite active on the map. He was allowing him to run the routes he wanted to, and just picking him apart and picking his fights a lot better than Effortless was. And the way in which he was able to sustain such long periods of time where he was getting overstack was also, again, credit to just how smart he plays the map.
Look at him, keeping himself warm as well. Bit of Tetley's coming out on the window, clocks him. Ooh. Snapshots from the HMG, straight back into the LG as well. And just destroys him. Melting him into a Effortless base fluid and then mopping him up like an Effortless base fluid.
What would you use to mop up an Effortless base fluid?
Wet wipes.
Bounty kitchen roll.
Yeah, well, you only need one wipe, one of those, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Bounty, just one wipe. Other brands of toilet roll are available, of course. But they don't clean in one wipe.
Can you tell it's our last set of the day?
Nah. 60 seconds done.
Big rocket.
He's just giving it, isn't he? He's having a good time here on Corrupted Keep. Crazy. Look at the movement. Just slowly backpedaling, gets off the pocket here as well. Knows exactly where he is for the flick up. The LG. Wow, what is his LG accuracy right now? What are we looking at? Oh, like 45% on the board. He's been really crisp with it, though. It felt like it was actually like even higher with some of the shots we've been seeing. Yeah. Look at him.
Something we haven't noted is the fact that this is Effortless's server pick as well. So we will be moving on to, I believe, it should be RAISY's server pick, which might change the tempo he plays at, potentially being a bit more reserved given those circumstances. But either way, it doesn't look like he's obviously been phased, as his facial expression has still not changed in 10 minutes.
Oh, he wanted to gauntlet him. God damn. Yeah, I don't know. He's just, you know, just focused, isn't he? He's gauntlet on gauntlet prime now. Look at this. Who's going to win? No one. Stalemate. RAISY, once again, 2-0 on the gauntlet fights. Ding, ding.
GG. That was a fun map to watch. Nice and controlled from RAISY. He's nice back in action.
It was a spectator sport, that one, damn. Chess boxing.
Kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. It is indeed. And I enjoyed it. I loved getting my eyeballs around that one. But there's still more to come, of course. That's only the first map in this best of 3. Dan, RAISY up 1-0 at this point, though. And for the most part, honestly, like he was giving it. It was pretty clean. There was a nice bit of reserve showing. Like, first couple of minutes were actually quite quiet, which is why it was as bizarre as it was, right?
Yeah. And then it all went downhill. It was definitely a calculated opening. I thought Effortless was making the right choices, but it was also felt like RAISY had Effortless on a little bit of a leash. You know, he was saying you can go here, but then you're going to come back to me, and then this is where I'm going to kill you. It was quite methodical and sadistic in that sense. It was always on RAISY's terms, and this was obviously play of the game. Little shrug coming out after that. There you go, casual. That was literally the only emotion I saw in 10 minutes.
Little shrug for the boys. That hat has got some serious movement. Like,
told you, vibration, definite uptick.
It's unbelievable. Oh, look at this.
That's the icing on the cake.
There he is.
No one beats RAISY in a gauntlet duel.
Mate, thousands of hours on Gauntlet DM.
2% accuracy. 2% accuracy on the Gauntlet. How does that even work?
Because he got 2 kills. Because I suppose it only counts that final tick of the Gauntlet damage. I'm thinking about this logistically. Do you know what I mean?
That's, that's...
Hey, look, don't ask me.
That's a silly algorithm.
You're a silly algorithm.
Yes, I correct. Yes, I am.
Good. I'm glad you're learning from your mistakes, Dan. But mistakes being made for Effortless can be remedied here in the second map, of course. Molten Falls is going to be coming up next, and we get Saw Lag coming into the mix. Potential for a lot of damage. This is the one that actually you pointed out, of course, thinking that this wasn't a good champion matchup for Effortless, Dan.
No. I mean, the reason that, obviously Slash is a pick that he loves to play, but the problem is that his combat choice and positioning has to be absolutely immaculate from start to finish. Any little mistake you make against the Sword, like anytime you take a wrong engagement or get caught somewhere, it's almost instant death because the stack differential is huge. And even if you come out on top, the chances of you coming out healthy are slim. And obviously then the Sword like spawns with effectively like 225 health and armor, and then she just runs at you because she's incredibly quick. So it's such a difficult matchup. For Effortless to win this, he's going to have to play a very, very good and stable range game and time to perfection.
Well, you've got to starve out the early game, right? Because that's obviously where, if RAISY's able to get into it, carry on from the hype from the first map and just get aggro, he builds himself a lead here. As you're saying, it's so hard to get him out of that because even when you start getting frags on him, he can just trade it back. Unless you have, like, no damage done whatsoever and you win it off the back of a major item, maybe we'll talk. But let's stick to the facts, Dan. We're back in RAISY on Molten Falls. Saw Lag is being brought to the table, and it's up against the Slash pick of Effortless. Already, they kick things off here. Rocket into Rocket, spit all over him. His health's getting burnt down, but he'll find himself an item to at least stop the damage for now.
Nice, and this is exactly what Effortless needs to do. Use the heavy machine gun, use the rail, just don't engage the Snorlag, as Lethal would say.
Is that what Lethal says? I thought it'd just be like...
He used to call it Snorlag.
No! Oh, I'm snorted! No! Oh, you can't be dropping Snorlag on me, Dan. That's not okay. Oh, right. Well, he's at the rail, isn't he? 50 seconds in. You've had a Snorlag. That's unacceptable. What? I can't! Harry! Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'm bringing it back in. 60 seconds in, Dan. He's got himself a heavy and he's looking for a fight. Oh, we're getting fired. Oh, Dan's had a mute. Well, anyway, I'll have a cast. Effortless. He's been slapped in the face by RAISY's rails. It's all kicking off. I can just hear Dan giggling in the background, but he's muted so you can't hear it. Don't worry about it. Let's see where this is going to go. As RAISY twists and turns, winds his way back in, and a big old Snorlag will find herself a frag, shutting down Effortless with a tasty opener off the back of the HMG into the rail as well. That's a tasty 90 that will follow up off the back of it. Are you back, Dan?
Yeah, that was great rails from RAISY and a really good opening. I am back in the game, don't worry about me. And that is painful. And that's exactly what happens if you take a little bit of concentration off the ball there, running into the Saw Lag, and then you'll spit and you're dead.
Lovely. I'm glad you composed yourself. Oh. RAISY looking like a composer right now, but the song he's playing is The Flight of the Bumblebees, because Effortless is getting stinged. There's a pun in there somewhere, I don't know. I got lost. But RAISY up 2-0 at this point, looking pretty damn good. Mega's up as well, so we can double back and grab that. Cancels out on the light armor as well. He is using the sheer momentum.
He's just taken
fly
all
around
4 items.
Look at him go.
Oh my word. And this is the problem, like, particularly against someone like RAISY, who is so efficient in that way. Effortless has nothing. He's waiting around for this light. He doesn't realize it's just been taken. He has no idea. So what do? He hasn't got the confidence to press this heavy. He's going to try and retreat into the Mega, but he can't even get away because it's RAISY and Sordak is quick.
Yeah. RAISY all over him like a rash there. There was no escape for Effortless. Goes down for the tick damage. RAISY already 3-0 up. Molten Falls, this is the worst case scenario we were talking about as well. If RAISY is able to get himself an early lead, and 3 frags up in the space of the first 3 minutes, that screams early lead to me. It does definitely look a bit risky. Bouncing around the corner, the rails are pulled out. He's just back hopping.
Oh my god, I think Effortless is living in item poverty. He needs to go to Bethesda to get a paycheck because he can't find anything right now.
There is no items, Dan. They're just gone all the time. RAISY is the king of the items.
He's had 1 heavy, 3 lights, 2 megas in nearly 4 minutes. And now there's another light gone. At least he might get timing on that one. Oh, he'll be able to pick it up.
God damn. Ooh, hello. Drops on top of it. What? RAISY! With the rockets! This is just balmy. 4 minutes in, 5 frags up. Effortless, so squishy. Coming into these fights, he has no stack to play with, and that's doubly bad when every single time he does spawn in, RAISY frags him out, hoovers up all the items, then meets him on the next spawn just to punch him in the back of the head. It's crazy, Daniel.
And once again, oh, what a roll.
What?
He's just rotating all 4 items. Still, Effortless has had only 1 light armor since we spoke about how little he has. And now he's relegated to the side of the map. RAISY's just cleaned up. RAISY is just playing Pac-Man.
Look at him, though. He's just bouncing around with a gauntlet out, occasionally pulling out the railgun to serve up a bit of crazy success with the weapon. He is having a field day. He's quite literally living his movie. RAISY the movie.
And the thing is here, it's incredibly hard because he's a sword lag as well, but RAISY's playing a set route. He's taking all 4 items in sequential pattern, right? So you need to play around that pattern. The thing is that Effortless hasn't realized it. He's got himself a mega here, which is good. He needs to now make that damage count.
And this must be so infuriating as well if you're on the receiving end of it. And even if he does master the Konami code and find a way to actually stop what RAISY's doing to him, it's also the fact he's then got to chain these kills together down and minimize the amount of damage he sustains into every fight, right? Because obviously RAISY's got the natural starting stack.
Exactly, and this is the problem with Slash. You have to do everything right. And often RAISY is the one person to get right. He's even willing to get rid of all of his stack just to get this item. Oh man, it's so hard. I mean, I know Effortless is trying to be Santa, but you shouldn't be giving away all these things for free. He's going to get a light, but at what cost here? RAISY will probably make this count. He doesn't get hit by the spit, which is fortunate. Oh, he does get hit by the spit.
Oh, he's burning. He's burning.
And he's going to die. Oh. He got an item, though.
He did. Unfortunately, it's just one that wouldn't save him. Oh, hello. All right. Here we go. Effortless on the board. Oh, Effortless wanted to get aggro as well. Being a little bit leery there as he swings around the corner, but it's still not enough. It was just a single rail, and again, the point's proven. RAISY coming in with the starting stack had the benefit of being on the big go of Sorlag. Uses that additional thickness to tank the damage and turn it back on Effortless with another kill. The game goes 8-1. We're 6 minutes in as well. And let's keep in mind, Dan, this is Molten Falls.
RAISY just does a drive-by take of the heavy. He doesn't even care that Effortless is there.
He just doesn't stop.
Just to put into context for the people that can't see the scoreboard, how hard Effortless's life is. He's done more damage than RAISY. That's kind of why we're playing it. He just is working with a fifth of the stack.
That's hard. Like, it is really ridiculous. And you think about the fact that RAISY at this point, he has had 12 heavies and 10 megas to the 2 and 3 that Effortless has been able to pick up.
He's even had 18 lights to Effortless's 8, and they're the item he should be working with. It's mind-blowing efficiency.
This is more the RAISY we kind of were talking about seeing as well, right? Like, this is RAISY the Godslayer. This is RAISY that finally wants to actually start kicking up a fuss again and doing a lot of damage. And if he's going to play like this could certainly be the bracket run for him. Both of them low, but he's still got confidence. Doesn't get ridiculous about it, though. Even with an 8 frag advantage, takes his time to back off, knowing it's not worth the fight there. will instead loop his way around. Gauntlet out as well, just for the star points, as per usual.
But this is what I meant earlier, is that RAISY was looping the items. So he had a sequence of when to take them. You've got to be playing around that. So you know he's going to go from, one light to the other. Cut off that route because, 9 times out of 10, he's going to take the same pathing, the same straight thing. So you can do damage whilst he's undertaking that. The problem is he was essentially chasing Effortless around in this process because Effortless was waiting for the item RAISY was turning up to. So you have to try and flip it on his head and be predictive. And I know that sounds maybe simple, but it's incredibly difficult to do when you're working with nothing and under so much pressure, particularly when RAISY's hitting absolutely everything. And I was right in saying this is RAISY's map server pick as well.
Yeah, he's just living it. He's the king of the castle at this point. It was RAISY's keep. This also seems to be RAISY's falls. Ooh. Doing a lot of damage there once again, tucking in on the close corner as well. It's just a matter of time on this one.
Well, Sorbet had a feast in this map.
Delicious.
Once again, though, Effortless did more damage. She just had nothing to work with. A suicide.
Yeah, well, there you go. 60 seconds left on this one. It's going to be the 2-0. It seems like it's all said and done. Effortless just doing his laps around. Both of them have got the gauntlets out. Oh, RAISY's still crisp, even when he doesn't need to be. Oh, wow. Man.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's like a human aimbot, Dan.
Yeah, he's fun to watch when he's in the mood.
When he's gaming, when he's giving it. Gauntlet out as well. Back in. Oh, 3-0 on the gauntlet fights. Undefeated gauntlet collar boxing champion. At that point, 14-0 seems to be the final scoreline on this one. Unless it goes 15-0, potentially so. The spit could do it, but we don't have enough time. RAISY jumping off the side of the map for a cinematic finish there. That's the way the series gets rounded out. Yeah, a bit of a wild one from the get-go all the way until the end of that. Absolutely balmy, Daniel.
I had a lot of fun, though.
No, it was good.
That was enjoyable.
Sorry
that you lost me for a good minute of time.
You did die for a bit. It's
I'll
fine,
deduct that from my invoice.
It doesn't matter. I think, at this point, we've been a bit silly. We do need to bring back in Dad. Here he is. I'm sorry,
Good job. Good job, boys.
Well, parental guidance is here.
Well done. I was entertained. That's what's important. And I mean, RAISY is RAISY, right? Dan, I was thinking about what you said earlier, where it's like RAISY's one of the individuals in sort of the top spots to potentially be in the in the finals, and I think that's exactly what we saw displayed right there. And no CG Santa hat could save.
That was CG. Oh, don't ruin it for me.
It's a bit of Christmas magic.
Are you serious right now?
Totally.
But I mean, anyone is gonna have struggles against RAISY. He's improved so much. He's great. Effortless did what he could, but RAISY pulls it out 2-0. I'm not surprised to see that result.
No, and map one was actually, like we said, it was relatively close. Yes, it was very in control for RAISY, but at the same time, we saw a lot of respect coming out from him, and that he wasn't trying to push his advantage. Effortless was doing what he needed to do to keep RAISY kind of restrained, but then we saw kind of old school dominating RAISY come out in that second map, where he just decided to take everything away from Effortless and make him feel quite literally effortless and hopeless.
God. Yeah, I mean, there you go. 14, 25, 12 for items. That's huge. No breadcrumbs left at all.
Undefeated in gauntlet fights as well. He had 3 of them, and he won every single one.
You're right. I don't know how the percentage works on that either. I know that you were complaining about that a little bit. I feel like you get a kill and it's just 100%. Good job. But all right, gentlemen, thank you very much. We are going to be taking a quick break. When we return, it's going to be the final match of the day here for the QPL Stage 1 Finals. Stick with us. We'll be right back.